Aloha, welcome in. I am Kapualani, and this is your timeless general collective reading. So, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'm going to open up this space with some sound healing, sound clearing, as I do. And as I chime the tuning fork, excuse me, I invite you to gently close your eyes, connect to your breath, connect to your higher self, call in your spirit teams, your higher power, Mother Earth, and so forth. Set some goals and intentions. Again, as I'm chiming my tuning fork here, and as you exhale, releasing what no longer serves, giving thanks, gratitude, and appreciation as well to all whom you've called in, all whom are present at this time. All right, so let's begin. Breathing deeply in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. One more chime. All right. So, thank you again for being here. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. And for everyone, hit that like button, leave a comment. As you interact, as you subscribe again, share and connect your energy, that allows for the channels of connection to open and to flow much more fluidly and synchronistically. All right, so let's see. Let's dive in here. And this is that week of Samhain, of All Hallows Eve. So we are very present to that ancestral connection at this time as well, especially. So, spirit, ancestors, what is the core message for the collective, for all who are watching at this time? Core messages for the collective, ancestors, ancient lineages. Interesting. We have the devil. So, are you feeling restless? I get this very sort of almost hyperventilation feeling when I see this devil energy showing up. Capricorn energy as it associates with the devil. And for some reason, I am, I don't just kind of say this right off the bat. Yes, I'll mention the zodiac sign, but I'm like feeling maybe there's something about the timing of Capricorn, or maybe even the sign of Capricorn if this is a loved one or someone significant in your life if you yourself are not a Capricorn. But there could be some significance with the time, that season, Capricorn season, which is going from end of the year into the beginning of the new year. So December, January timeframe that we're looking at could have some significance with goals, intentions, work that you're doing around this time. All right, like whenever you're seeing this, whenever you're watching this, and it doesn't have to be during the week of All Hallows Eve, of Samhain. All right. But this devil energy does speak to self limiting thoughts. It speaks to patterns and behaviors that may be toxic, may be outdated. All right. There is an energy with the Capricorn vibration that speaks to getting things done as well. Speaks to, because we have that goat energy and we want to channel, all right, a lot of that get up and go vibe so that we're not scattering our energy. So just look at any areas where you may be feeling scattered, where you may be feeling a little bit chaotic or disoriented even. Or perhaps, again, if I had already mentioned this word, where you're fixating. Are you fixating on the end results and losing sight of what you need to lock into here and now in order to get to the next step and the next step and the next step? We don't want to just jump around here, there, everywhere, like I was saying, chaotic, scattered. We want to channel that energy so that we can create some consistency and see those results taking shape. So there's something there also with results that we are working toward. Okay. And this gives you this space. That being said, Spirit, what is that message with this devil energy? Freeing yourself from bondage. Again, recognizing any areas where you may just be chasing your own tail as well. And so let's highlight that, Spirit. Okay. How may that message resonate? Okay, so there may be some losses. All right. I'm not going to pull all of these cards beneath. There's just a few too many. I'm going to focus on this Five of Pentacles. And so this is like, are you feeling a little bit lacking? And maybe that's where it's just like that hustle energy of like, I got to make money, or I got to get this finished, or, feeling like you're going to be left behind in some sort of way. If there has been some form of a loss, that could be something else that's coming up, just kind of being stuck in past regrets, or just sort of, again, spinning your wheels, chasing your own tail, feeling like the hardship aspect, like when is this going to end, and just feeling like it's just, again, you're running in circles and can't seem to figure out which way to go, where to focus your energy, where to step, or maybe we're just, again, we're feeling a little bit spread thin, we're spreading our energies out a bit too much, and we need to, again, channel that energy, because the Five of Pentacles reminds us to focus on our strengths, focus on what's working for us, not what is obviously, working against us, what we're lacking in. Okay, do your best also to shine a light on where there are gains, and again, where you have strengths rather than weaknesses, or rather than the losses or what's not present, what is lacking again. All right, so there may be a little bit obsessive, self-obsessive kind of again, focus going on. We're not quite seeing all of what's there, all of what is potentially available for us or to us to engage in terms of, again, making gains, creating gains. Okay, this is also an energy that you are going to, the current energy coming up, the struggle that we're looking at, what we're working through. So let's start to see where are we, where do we have some strengths, what are those strengths that we could be focusing on. So we got five energies here that are showing through. Five is an energy, it's both conflict and it's also a recovery energy. Okay, so there's, you may be feeling some feels right now. There may be aspects where you really are sort of more looking at the losses, looking at the past, and feeling a bit like the past is clinging to you. If not, the other way around, clinging to the past yourself. Maybe it's a little bit of both. One way or another, you will, or likely are, excuse me, experiencing and reflecting upon the losses and the lack, rather than, okay, how can I transform this energy? How can I move through this energy? And even if I'm not, I don't want it, I don't really care about feeling joyful right now. I don't really care about, you know what I mean? I'm just too much in this like lower space. I just want to feel my feelings. I feel like poop. I'm not going to try to glaze that over and be like, woohoo, you know what I mean? And because this, again, when I said, okay, what is the strength here, it's about acknowledging, you already know that life does go on. You already know that there are more joyful things, more, you know what I mean, there are positive things for you to look forward to. You get that, you're aware of that. This, I feel, is also a validation that even though you might be feeling a certain way, like for example, when you lose a loved one, that pain never goes away, right? Like time heals all wounds. Time can, it can be healing, it can be a balm, and we still live with those memories. It's living memories, right? And so, what I'm getting at here with this Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, even this Devil, as we look at this as a composite, I feel that you have been doing your best to move forward, as well as you're not denying any pain, any heartache, any struggle. You're being present to that, right? So this is that balance. We're looking at that balance. And because we have this five energy coming up, again, five could be a significant number. And, while I'm thinking about it, so we're not going to be quite there because, like, maybe 5 weeks, I don't know, not so much. That's not really the significance. Although 5 weeks could be significant, I was more reflecting on Capricorn season. And I believe that we're not 5 weeks from now, we're not quite there yet. So, the number five in and of itself, angel number five, angel number 55, could be significant. So I encourage you to look up those numbers, those energies, see what you see, and maybe drop it in the comments for those who might be interested. Everybody may have different results. You don't know. So I didn't even get to say, okay, Spirit, what's next? But there we go. Six of Wands as a validation that you are and will overcome. Okay. This is that card of victory and success. And so it's about taking that affirmative action. It's about continuing to move forward and understand that this too shall pass. Any of those, the hardships that you're moving through, any of the losses that may be coming up at this time, you will rise above it. Okay. You will find your way. And not just that, but you're not alone, because we think about the traditional Rider Waite version of the Six of Wands, right? That rider on horseback who is what? They're being welcomed. They're being welcomed by a promenade procession of people, right? Celebrating that return. And so this is also an acknowledgement to celebrate. And we can see that as your ancestor. So if you do have, again, a loved one on the other side, loved ones, this is that time to celebrate their spirit, that they're leading the way on the other side, because the wands is what? It's fire energy, that's spirit, right? And so don't be alone at this time, right? Reach out to other loved ones, because I'm also thinking that right on horseback could also be yourself. It could also be that ancestor, that loved one that you are celebrating. And so that being said, like I said, there's group energy involved here. Don't stand alone. There's a strong likelihood that those loved ones, those friends, family members, maybe they're feeling the same. Maybe they're kind of vibing with you. And so reach out. And again, don't be alone at this time, especially if you are feeling a little bit of that struggle. Reach out, and together, right? You can overcome. Together you can celebrate the loved one, even if, let's say, that friend or whomever, they have their own loved one on the other side, you have your own, or whatever the case may be. There is, what is it, I don't, forgive me, but I'm here, there's strength in numbers, but in a beautiful celebratory kind of way. And again, this is that acknowledgement that you have what it takes and you will be successful. All right. And so again, spirit, where can we place our focus? What's getting ready to manifest through these energies? And as we take these steps toward focusing not just on the bigger picture, but the fact that we will be successful. Okay, spirit. This is what we're overcoming. Okay. So there's a number of energies here. Look at this: the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, but then that Father of Cups energy shining through. So this is saying, there may be certain things that we're going through: sleepless nights, feelings of guilt, stress, anxiety, keeping us awake at night, or troubling the mind during the day, whatever that might be. There may be conflict. All right. And if there's conflict between yourself and another, or maybe whoever it is that transition, maybe you didn't leave things on the best note. Maybe there were, things left unsaid that there's feeling, you're feeling regretful about, or, intense and troubled about. This Father of Cups energy, it's not just an energy of let's be brave, let's be strong, let's compartmentalize those regrets, those doubts, those fears, that conflict. But there's an active energy here to work toward healing this mental sort of overwhelm and just distress is part of what I want to say here. I'm going to keep this Father of Cups, just kind of over this Nine of Swords, this Three of Swords, because I do feel, there could be stressful times. There could be a lot going on mentally. And again, just where it's very difficult, the mind is in conflict with reality of what's really going on here. And so that Father of Cups energy, that healer energy, there's also guidance here. And this could be a guide from the other side, that you're looking toward or that you want to connect to. I feel like this is an opportunity for you to empower yourself energetically, emotionally. And, let's just kind of look at this through the context of, we're going to zoom out, look at this again as a general, right, reading, and maybe not fixate too much on even the ancestral aspect and the timing of all of this, but it's just the energies that are going to be coming through right now. All of these maybe lower vibration, stress energies, anxiety energies, if you are relating with any of that, all right, at this time, especially, again, this Father of Cups is a card of leadership. It's a card of working toward healing. You may be in a position to support others who are struggling with this by just sharing your own experience, sharing your own journey, your own story here. Okay. That Or there may be someone that you could reach out to for support if you are struggling. Like I said earlier with the Six of Wands, don't be alone at this time. Okay, like I said, reach out. Okay, reach out. There may be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, masculine, that may be someone that you can connect with. Maybe someone who has their own struggles going on, maybe isn't sharing it. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're putting on that brave face and you're not really saying what's going on inside, and you're just like, oh no, it's fine, I'm okay. But that's really not the case, because you're just trying to work through all of this stuff on the under in the underbelly, in the layers of things. And so this is where we connect to that emotional strength. And I feel like, I believe that as this reading is being shared, this may not be the exact timing, but we're going to be moving into a full moon, which is all about that cleansing and releasing, right? And so this is what I'm seeing a lot, even that's coming through. Like the timing of this reading coming through may really hinge upon those deeper core layers of healing that are ready to be transformed, transmuted, healed, released, all of that good stuff. And so, Spirit, what is the advice here for us? All that we're seeing, a little heavier in these messages, which, it's not really a, surprise either. Four of Cups, the answer is right in front of you. We can't avoid it. Don't avoid your emotions. Don't avoid any pain or heartache or struggle that you may be experiencing, that you may be going through at this time. Okay, it is what it is. And I'm hearing it again, and please forgive me, I'm hearing it again, this too shall pass, in terms of any hardship energies, in terms of the lower energies, and just stuff that we may be dealing with right now. There's no way around it other than through it. Okay, there's no way around it other than through it. And so let's get closing guidance with that. Mother of Wands. Okay, Mother of Wands, where attention goes, energy flows. That's that Mother of Wands energy, that Mother of Wands message that tends to come through. Um, hmm. Self-care, self-love, self-nurturing, taking action that's going to support a sense of feeling good about you, mind, body, and soul. Tune into your psychic self, your more sensitive, intuitive nature, because we do have that fire energy, as I was saying earlier. That's like the spirit. Okay, I feel like this combination, there's healer energies coming through here, and the potential for, again, transformation, going from this individual of the King of Cups that's saying, okay, I might be feeling this way on the inside, but you would never know it, you would never see it, you could never tell, right? Giving yourself that space for respite and saying, you know what, I just kind of need to be right now. I need to just deal with what's in front of me, deal with what I'm dealing with. I'm not stop picking at things. And you know what I'm saying? Looking for some kind of a different answer. It is what it is. And so we're going to embrace that. Okay. And we're going to send healing energy toward it. So this is self-healing time. Okay, this is that time for self-healing, self-nurturing. We're not here to just be this pillar of strength and fortitude for others. We're not here just to be that example of, how to get through and overcome any painful, energies or struggles right now. This is what's up. You know what I mean? This is what's up. This could just be, even aside from the mental strain, this could be about a number of different things going on, whether it's stress about money, whether it's stress about health, whether it's stress about relationship, whatever the case may be. All right, you're going to get through this, and the way through it is through it. The only, you can't go around it, you can't go above it or below it. The only way through it is through it. And this is where, again, you're invited to really focus on and stand in that power, taking that affirmative, aligned, inspired action towards self-healing and self-nurturing. All right, so we're going to shift gears, and just as a reminder, there will be an extended video to this. We're going to get a little bit deeper, and you know what, I may do more of a specific highlight on messages from the ancestors, if that wants to come through. I always like to keep things open, see what's coming through. And aside from these more kind of heavier layers that we're looking at in this particular spread, deeper guidance on what we can expect. Maybe spirit will give us some guidance in terms of next steps, in terms of timings. We'll see. But we're gonna pull from the animal spirit guides in just a second here and get and see what animal spirit guide will be leading us this time. And in part two, as always, we're gonna get some answers from the angels. So if you have a yes/no type question, we're gonna have an opportunity to address that with the angel answers. Maybe even look at a little bit of love stuff. But you know me, I always say that it doesn't have to be romantically based if that's of no interest to you, but just another opportunity to ask a question about anything that's more, just that you're passionate about, that you're really thinking about at this time. And because I really enjoyed these cards, I'm just gonna maybe even pull from our Star Seed Oracle. And maybe that's the guidance. We'll look for some ancestral guidance here and see what that message is from the other side, all right, with that Star Seed Oracle. But let's tap in. Let's get our animal spirit guide messenger for this week. Right away, look at that beautiful cosmic egg. All right, so when we've got this cosmic egg energy, there's possibility, potential galore. It's part of just the message that's coming through. I think it's really interesting that we've wrapped this, particular session up with the Mother of Wands, that serpent coiling around the egg, and then we got another serpent coiling around the egg. So there's something in process here. There's a calling to focus on your creative energy, that inspired soulful side of you as well, to lock into breathing life into, investing into those future goals, the future potential, okay? And the new life that you're wanting to build from this point moving forward. This is an acknowledgement of the losses, of the underbelly, of the shadow side of things, of whatever it is that you may be going through. And this is going to be where it's all leading up to, as we honor and acknowledge those deeper core layers, and as we really face it head on. Like I said, through it, not around it, not above it or below it, but through it, as we really acknowledge it. This puts us in a position to clearly focus on the goals and the intentions that we're setting forth for the future, for ourselves, in terms of what we're wanting to manifest and co-create moving forward. And I feel that this cosmic egg energy is that validation, all right? That as you again confidently acknowledge the pain, confidently acknowledge whatever it is that's going on deep inside, right? That puts you in a position to manifest from a place, from a seat of power. Okay, by taking charge and by looking at again those deeper layers, you allow for yourself to manifest and co create, not just from a clean slate, but from an empowered space. Okay, so in our part two, we're going to look at the book version of the cosmic egg. And I just saw 2244 on my timer. So thank you for those synchronicities, spirit. But as I was saying, we're going to look deeper into the book meaning of the cosmic egg, as well as get some deeper insights. So, you know what? That being said, we're going to get some guidance on how we can lock into those manifestations moving forward. We're looking at the underbelly. Let's see what's going to be illuminating the path moving forward. All right, in part two. And you can find the link to part two in the description box below, in the comments. Visit my website, kapualani.com. Schedule a reading of your very own. I'm here for you, live or pre-recorded, at kapualani.com. But I thank you for being here, and I will see you in part two for those, again, who are going to be diving deeper with me there. Till next time.